Wow, the last few months has been literally non-stop for many of you, I'm sure. But with the end of the stamp duty holiday, has the gravy train reached the end of the line? It remains to be seen how many sales actually fell through because they didn't make the end of the stamp duty holiday. From sources, I'm picking up that it's a significant number, but I don't know the actual figure yet. One thing is for certain, we are definitely approaching leaner times. The number of properties coming on the market is the lowest I've known it for years. In fact, I think the volume of properties actually coming onto the market or on the market and available is lower than it has been since the crazy summer of 1988, just before the end of the double tax relief on mortgages, if any of you remember that. But what does this mean for the industry? Well, it means that with more and more agents, less and less properties, more agents will struggle to actually win listings. Already, the actual volume of sales is lower than it has been for a long time. I think the last figure we had was about 600,000 properties on the market, although it's unclear if that includes sold subject to contract or not. Compare that to about 1.5 million 15 years ago. And with more agents out there, it's not easy to work out, not difficult to work out that it's hard for agents to survive, and it will get even harder. However, the most significant indicator that I have seen, although I've not seen too much discussion about it, was the decision by the largest online estate agent in the country to offer a money-back guarantee. Obviously, it's subject to their terms. I think that you don't get an offer within 10% of your asking price within 10 months, I think. But if we accept the notion that online estate agents are about collecting listing fees rather than selling properties, for the largest agent, meaning that they are dealing with the largest figures, to be willing to give away a large percentage of what comes in. We don't know the true figures because, surprise, surprise, most online estate agents don't actually release accurate figures about what percentage of properties that go on with them actually sell. But whether it's 20%, 30%, 40%, in reality, what they've just said is that they are prepared to refund 20 or 30 or 40% of their projected income at a time when the number of properties coming on the market is lower than it has been for a long time. If that's not desperation, then really, I don't know what is. So definitely over the next few months, things are going to be quite tough. Not sure what your thoughts about it. The soothsayers are out already with their predictions of property crash and the threat of capital gains tax on residential properties. I don't believe either of those. Corrections, yes. Crash, no. Capital gains on residential property. Well, the last time the government messed about with residential property was when they changed the stamp duty a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. The result was that by increasing the stamp duty drastically at the very top end, is that they stifled it, brought it to a halt, and they should have known from the figures from the 50s and 60s when the income tax rate was over 90%. Pro rata, those 2 decades, the government collected less revenue than it does now when the top rate is so much lower. The same would apply with stamp duty. The government over the last 5 years has collected less stamp duty from the top 5% than it did in the previous 5. So for them to meddle with residential property any further would literally be economic suicide, because it would take the property market down and the greater economy with it. So I have no concerns there. With regards to properties coming on the market, Christopher Watkin did make a very wise observation a week or two ago, and I'm inclined to agree with him. He said that perhaps estate agents have made a rod for their own back by constantly announcing that they have sold a property in excess of the asking price. Look at me, look how wonderful I am. But have they inadvertently frightened off potential sellers who fear that they may sell their property and subsequently lose the property that they want to buy? I think that has had an effect. To what degree, I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts. On the whole, I expect that we will have a bumpy ride over the next few months, but we will get through it. I think that the working holiday is definitely over, that's for certain. And now it will be a time where those who are not more proactive may struggle, because I'm seeing agents who had 15, 20, 30, 40 listings now have 6 or 7, 10 or 12, 10 or 15. That's a significant drop. And if you don't have the stock, you can't make the sales. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.